Now the world of Ocellus is about to be revealed. Join me as I introduce the characters and their backstories as war, greed, and turmoil rock civilizations, which include people who dwell on land, in water, and rule the air. Welcome. My name is Jagan, and I'm the author of the Ocellus Chronicles, Before the Beginning. This channel is dedicated to the introduction to the characters of Ocellus, characters featured in a planned 5-book series where 3 of the 5 books are currently completed. But first, let's recap. In episodes 1, 2, and 3, we learned about the Ocellus queens, their love interest, the father of those love interests, as well as a sibling to one of the queens. In episode 4 and 5, we traveled to a new region, the region of Ejiro, where we were introduced to not just the royalty, but the military units as well. In episode 6, we learned of the traditions of Taizola and how it would be affecting their region and their royalty. In episode 7, we traveled to one of the richest regions of the land, Targeria, where we were introduced to the heiress, her royal family, and a captain. We've traveled through many regions of Adama. But now, we're going to a region far above the clouds. A region where the people have wings, Airiatica. Which brings us to episode 8. The Ocellus Chronicles, episode 8, Descendants of Light. Welcome to Airiatica. Before we meet the major characters that we'll be discussing for Ocellus, let's meet the royal family. Reigning on the throne, King Adonis. His wife, Queen Gloria. Daughter, Princess Avis, and son, Prince Kyle. Now, the 2 characters that we'll be discussing, though, are going to be the siblings, the children. Let's start with Avis. If Avis looks familiar, then that means that you've been following along, because she has already been introduced in episode 4 of Ejiro as the love interest for Troy. Avis of Airiatica, oldest child of King Adonis and Queen Gloria of the Airiatic throne. She has loved Troy of Ejiro since being a teen. Aware that they have no future because of royal commitments, she is also aware that Troy is in love with her, but he is also loyal to his throne. In episode 4, Till Death Do Us Part, we learned that Troy, even though he's betrothed to Myra, Lieutenant General of the Ejiro Army, he is still very much in love with Avis, Princess of the Airiatic nation. Let's meet Kyle. Kyle of Airiatica, prince and youngest child of the Airiatic throne, younger brother to Princess Avis and son of King Adonis and Queen Gloria, second in line for the throne. It was only recently that he has had an interest in kingdom affairs or politics. Currently, he is acting as a liaison on behalf of the Equad nation. He, too, has a love interest, Talia. Talia is our first resident that we shall meet of the people of the water, the Equads. Talia of Equad, princess of the northwestern Equad nation, Sundara. She currently has 2 suitors, Zerid of Vorios and Drake of Nodios, vying for her hand. Both suitors are Equad royals looking at marriage for political reasons. However, at a recent UWC meeting, United World Council meeting, Talia met Cal of Airiatica, with whom she seems to be quite attracted to. Talia, princess of the northwestern Equad nation. To better understand what is going on in the kingdom of Airiatica, let's take a closer look at those relationships of the 2 siblings. One interested in a person of the land, the other interested in a person of the water. Let's begin with Troy and Avis. As mentioned earlier, theirs is one that has been developing and growing over the years for a long period of time. As a world war fastly approaches, it is highly important that Troy and Avis remember their proper positions and responsibilities. Will true love prevail? Only time will tell. Next, let's take a look at the relationship of Kyle and Talia. Unlike his sister, Kyle has only recently met Talia. Although the initial reason for their alliance was political, it seems that every new encounter seems to increase their mutual attraction. Into what? Once again, only time will tell. The one thing that both siblings seem to have in common is that each of their interests have prior relationship commitments. Needless to say, not a good thing. I think it's important to note that Adonis and Gloria are not just rulers. They are loving, caring parents concerned about the happiness of their children, as well as the future of the throne. Their own personal relationship was built on love, not protocol, so it's not surprising to find that they desire the same for their children. However, as parents, they realize the possibility of heartache that could still confront both of them. That concludes Episode 8 of the Ocellus Chronicles, Descendants of Light. We learned about the royal family, the siblings, and their love interest. Each episode has featured a different region, including the important characters for that region for the storyline of the Ocellus Chronicles. If you haven't had an opportunity to get caught up, I highly recommend that you do. Not only will you learn a little bit more about the worlds and the characters, but you'll become familiar with how they interact with each other. I hope to introduce you to more characters from the Ocellus Chronicles. Until then, you can get behind-the-scenes information about the making of this world on the Before the Beginning, the Ocellus Chronicle podcast, available on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, and here on YouTube, you can find not just the videos, but the podcasts as well. You can also find us on Instagram. So there you have it, Airiatica, the main players, the Ocellus Chronicles, Episode 8. Descendants of Light. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and don't forget, if you did like it, to actually hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you can get the next episode when available. We may have found our heads in the clouds for this episode, but next we go to the deep waters to explore the Equad Nations, Episode 9. So until next time, this is Jagan, author of the Ocellus Chronicles, and you've been watching Before the Beginning. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.